Oh, Mr. Amesbury, you're getting rather close to me. Well, I wish for you to know me, Miss Bennet. I glance at him, a rare seriousness on his expression. The honesty in his previous statement makes my heart thud in my chest. I smile, hoping he will not see how off balance the words have left me. And I wish the same. The moment hangs between us, even as we continue walking on, barely allowing me to catch my breath. Oh, so romantic! He loves me! I totally thought he was going to kiss me, but apparently he did not. Oh my gosh, okay. I believe we're not far from the assembly rooms. Suddenly I wish our destination were much further away. The assembly rooms are as busy as expected, if not more so. Oh, come on, let's get back to the kissing scene. Oh, no. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, that was very, very unexpected. After arriving, Amesbury leads me to the main room, where we are greeted by the heat and noise of the gathered crowd. Ah, I believe that Lady Ashbourne's over here. Okay, so this looks like the same area we were in earlier. It's just now it's daytime rather than nighttime. He gestures to one of the tables to the side where Arabella and the Colonel have managed to find a space. She gives a cheerful wave as we approach. Ah, Catherine, you eventually join us. And you found Mr. Amesbury, how wonderful. Please sit, both of you. We do as she says, taking a place beside each other on the uncomfortable wooden seats. Though barely we do manage to take our seats, then an excited voice calls to us. Miss Witter rushes to our table, almost wobbling as she comes to a stop. Miss Witter, oh, we haven't seen her in a while. Miss inappropriate, rude woman. Oh, Lady Ashbourne, Miss Bennet, is it quite true? Her words are barely audible between panted breaths. Is what true? That you were stopped by the Society Swindler? Her voice lengthens and becomes almost breathless as she says the masked man's title. I notice Colonel Foxley does not seem to appreciate the girl's obvious enthusiasm. We did, but we shouldn't speak of such a thing. We did meet him, or more accurately, he made a forceful introduction. I lean forward and place a hand on Miss Whittier's. You should not be so excited to speak on such topics. Yes, you must do so in private, at least. We give gentle laughter, hoping not to catch the attention of those around us. But you must tell me something more. Arabella rolls her eyes, but I can see she's eager to participate in this line of conversation. Well, he demanded Catherine's gloves as payment. He did? Oh my. You must have been so frightened, Miss Bennet. I have to glance away, any fear I had felt on my encounter with the swindler having long ago melted to confusion and the lingering memory of his gentle touch. Well, My words are cut short by the sound of a door snapping shut and a pair of heavy footsteps echoing in the following shocked silence. You there! The shout reverberates around the hall, everyone's silent focus trained on Mr. Tinder as he marches towards Mr. Offston. You are wearing my hat! Ah, what an enjoyably familiar scene this is becoming. Amesbury gives a quiet chuckle, whilst the rest of us watch in surprise. Mr. Tinder approaches Mr. Offston, who shrinks back a little, but still attempts to look unaffected. Yes, that's definitely my hat! You're mistaken, Tinder. Maybe your fondness for sherry over tea is finally affecting you. The slight makes Tinder fumble on his words with anger. Now move along, man. You're spoiling the afternoon's pleasantries. I shall do no such thing until my property is returned to me. It was taken by that damned swindler, and I will have it back. Oh, dear me. We all give a small gasp as Mr. Tinder reaches to snatch the top hat from Mr. Offston's head. Except Amesbury, I notice, who only chuckles again. Why does he seem so amused by this scene? I know he has a good sense of humor, but these two men are fighting dangerously. The two men continue to scuffle, and we can only watch them in confused shock. I'll put an end to this. Yes, I suppose we can't let it continue, although I doubt either will harm the other just flapping their arms about like that. He throws me a smile before following Foxley towards the two men to break up the spat. Oh, how exciting. But the gentleman barely makes it 2 steps before someone else moves in from the entryway and comes between the two men. Enough now, gentlemen, or you shall surely send the ladies into a swoon. I do not believe either of you should wish to be the cause of a woman's distress. He stands proud against the ire of the men, his voice deep and his words spoken with great authority. The two men glance at each other before giving resigned nods. Very well. I'm sure your dispute can be further discussed in private setting. And with barely more than a few sentences, the man diffuses the angered scene. He pats the men on the shoulder, a subtle indication for them all to move to a quieter corner of the room. The chattering once again floods the room, most conversations, unsurprisingly, having turned to what just occurred. Who was that stranger? Arabella throws me a resigned look, both of us realizing the swindler has quickly been put out of Miss Whittier's mind. I do not know. I've never seen him in town before. He is most dashing, is he not? I believe there are few who could deny that. I'm sure my aunt will know who he is. I shall do my utmost to find out. And before either of us can say our goodbye, Miss Witter scuttles away through the crowd. I barely remember what it was like to be so young and excited by the world. Miss Witter certainly seems to have an abundance of enthusiasm. I'm sure she'd be most pleased to share it with you. I fear even I could not contain such exuberance as hers. Our jesting is broken by the return of Amesbury and the Colonel, along with someone new. Miss Bennet, Lady Ashbourne, I hope you'll allow me to introduce my oldest friend, Mr. Montfort. Ah, the mysterious stranger. I glance up at Mr. Montfort, the man towering above us as we remain seated at the table. His gaze passes over us before he dips into an elegant bow. A delight to meet you both. He straightens himself back up, a polite smile now on his face. I do hope my interference in the earlier dispute did not make a bad impression. Oh, it was gallant of you to step in. Oh, quite the opposite. Oh, you are wonderful. Quite the opposite, Mr. Montfort. I believe anyone who would step in to help others can make only the best of impressions. His focus shifts to me, and I realize he's inspecting me closely for a long moment. I'm unsure what the outcome of his assessment is, as he only smiles again. I'm glad to hear so, Miss Bennet. But this is a surprise, Pierce. I thought you couldn't make it this year? Business in the country was cut short, so I thought I would join you. I feared you'd grow lonely in town, your views on society not gaining you many friends. And yet, here I see you have joined quite the amiable group. Indeed, I've been most fortunate in my company this season. He nods to the group, and I have to swallow down a blush as his gaze lingers upon me. I'll find you a chair, Mr. Montfort, and you must join us. Thank you, Colonel. I would be most grateful. And with that, the group of us settle down to enjoy an even more delightful afternoon than the one we'd spent at a picnic. Yay! We're just having such a good time. Just so much fun.